Hi, I'm Benny Johnson, and welcome to Stairway to Redemption, a podcast about addiction and recovery. In the early stages of recovery, some of us might be intimidated by those with long years of sobriety 5, 10, 20 plus years. How did they get there? We ask ourselves. Well, as I'm starting this podcast 90 days clean, I hope that taking you along in my journey will answer some of those questions. Let me be frank. I don't know myself if I will ever drink again. Forever is a long time. All I know is that today I'm willing to stay sober. Stairway to Redemption is all about information gathering. I'm not going to swear by one solution fits all. Whether it's Alcoholic Anonymous, intensive outpatient, or any other recovery program, I'm willing to take an exhaustive look at all of them. Through this real time process of figuring out what is going to work for me, my aspiration is to help you figure out what is going to work for you. Alright, enough said. Let's begin.
All right. Good morning, Kevin. How you doing? For you guys, Kevin is my sponsor. This is the first episode, and I named that episode the State of Mind Address as a play as the State of the Union Address. Since I just got out of treatment. As of today, I'm 90 days sober and I'm starting this podcast, and I didn't think anything, what's better than have your sponsor in recovery as your first guest. So the first segment of this is like the state of mind address. Is basically tell us how you feel, right now, these days, something beside just, I'm doing well.
I think state of mind is, you know, you gotta remember AA is a spiritual program, right? So the idea is, you know what, I should probably mention, you know, before I got sober, I spent 27 years clean without being sober, because there is a difference. Not picking up a drink is one thing. Your mind, body, and spirit is another. Right. And I think I start my day off reading a 24-hour book, saying a prayer, and contemplating my day. Those things put me in the right state of mind to attack my day. Right. So, as far as my state of mind, I think my state of mind is healthy. I'm there, I'm present, I'm able to converse with people, I'm able to help people. These are all things I wasn't able to do before.
Do you remember, unlike me, do you remember your state of mind when you just got out of treatment? When you were when you had my days, like the first time and the second time?
I think my state of mind was a little bit of euphoria at that point. I was still very excited to be clean, again. And then, to be starting this journey, but it was also at 90 days, I was very recently removed from, a very good friend of mine passing away at a very early age. Yeah, he was 37. I met him in rehab, and, we had meetings every day together, and he passed away probably about 2 weeks before my 90 days. About 3 weeks before my 90 days. So, I had mixed emotions at that point. But, today I'm able to, every milestone that I hit, everything I accomplish, I'm able to sit in my car, I say a prayer to him. And, there's some real God stuff going on in this program. I'm chairing a meeting on Sundays, as you know.
Yeah.
And that's basically a beginner's share meeting. So it's not a beginner's meeting, but it's but it's, we try to get people in 90 days or somewhere around 90 days to speak for the first time.
And you asked me to come on it to find a Sunday where I'll be alongside, basically tell my story. I'm still working on it. I did that. We do it there. But yeah.
But when I say God stuff happening in the program is, the friend of mine that passed away, his name was Edwin Rodriguez. And I asked a friend in the program to give me a 90-day speaker. And he says, I have somebody. And he forwards me the guy's contact information. His name is Edward Rodriguez. I was like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was screwing with me at first.
That the guy will go back from this.
Then I texted the kid. Happened to be a friend of my Edward Rodriguez. Yeah. They sent me a picture of the two of them together. I was like,
that's crazy.
It's just too much of a coincidence. You could just say, there's not something else happening.
You want your mind blown like this? Edwin Rodriguez that spoke during the meeting on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah,
was my roommate in patient treatment. Look at that! Look at that!
That crazy?
Isn't it crazy? Yeah, he was my roommate.
My whole life, I looked at things as coincidences.
Yeah,
and now I look at them. When we talk about state of mind, I look at the deeper meaning of things. There are no coincidences.
Yeah, they have a word for that, like serendipity. Like, like that. When I want to come back to that state of euphoria you were talking about, I think I was in the same state when I got out, that appeared seeing clearly. And there was a part where basically I came to you with a problem because since I was sober, right, I started feeling the remorse of the action I did in the past, and I wanted to make amends to that particular person. And I remember our discussion, basically, I was why, making amends was so down the list of the step when right now I'm feeling clearly. And I remember you telling me that, if asking me first if I was doing it for me or for that person. And I said I did it for me because in the big book, they said, like, you make amends for yourself. But then you said, like, maybe you shouldn't because that guilt that I have, maybe I should hold on to it to test the sincerity of my recovery. Because what you said again,
twofold.
Yeah, twofold. Like you said, yeah, go ahead.
Twofold is, when you're early in recovery, you're trying to clear your own conscience.
Yes.
This program's not about clearing your own conscience, right? It's about clearing your side of the street, making sure that you're okay. You're okay with your actions. What you were trying to do was unload guilt that you had. And that wasn't making amends to somebody. Making amends isn't apologizing. But it's, to me, it's not apologizing. I still have not apologized to my family for the things I put them through the last 2 years. And the reason for that is they've heard me say sorry 1,000 times. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe it does mean something today, but it's not as meaningful as me being present and me being available to them. That's my living amends to them. And what I was concerned about with you, what I thought the funniest thing you said to me was, but what'd you say?
Yeah, it's for me. I'm supposed to do it for me, right? Yeah. So, like, what's it?
You said I'm supposed to. Oh. What did you say? It was funny. You said I was supposed to be selfish about my recovery.
Yeah, I said that. I remember now. Yeah, because of the program, you have to be selfish. Yeah, I say that.
As drugs and drug addicts, we spend our lives being selfish. And that's what this program is supposed to teach you. You're not going to be selfish anymore. And that's why the steps are there. Right. So you do the steps in order for a reason. And you may or may not realize it, but you're doing steps 1, 2, and 3 right now.
Oh, wow.
Right. All right. I'm not telling you what steps you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you're reading your 24-hour book every day, you say a prayer, you're reaching out. That's you doing 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Now, shortly we're going to get into step 4.
Yeah, which
Right.
is like inventory of yeah,
Yeah, it's, your character defects.
facts. Yeah,
Right.
that one's gonna suck. But okay.
So to me, it wasn't so bad. A lot of people have a lot of anxiety about doing stuff 4.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I know who I am. I've been telling myself who I am my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what your character defects are.
Oh yeah,
The big part is step 5 when you got to sit down and tell another human being.
yeah,
That's the scary part, right?
yeah,
And the whole idea is, I'm going to tell you some things about me that I'm not going to want to say to another human being, but this is how we get better.
yes,
And when you make amends after step 4 or 5, you're going to have an idea what your part really was
mm-hmm.
in what you did and what they did.
Yeah,
Right. And it'll be much more sincere. It'll carry a lot more weight.
Wait, yeah, that's
you're gonna
that.
understand.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna understand what your part was.
Course, yeah.
You're apologizing for an action, but you don't know exactly why you did it.
Did it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's hard to apologize for something you're not sure what it actually is.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree because once you told me that, and our friend Rich came to the right.
You saw me at Grand Prix training.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, explain to this kid like what he's feeling right now, like that. That's not like once he said that, I was like, all right, that makes sense. But when I pick you to ask you to be my sponsor, I put like fair warning. I was like, hey, I'm gonna challenge you because my critical thinking is something that cannot be taken away, but I like to be explaining why the thing. I will still, I let myself be guided. I let myself be teachable, but people need to explain to me, for example, like, going to this next segment now. There are some like dogmas, not dogma, that's some, but some like mantras in AA, like, 90 minutes is 90 days. Don't date within a year. Like, what do you think about those? Like, all the numbers arbitrary? Even me right now, I'm doing something starting
numbers aren't arbitrary.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if you do something every day for X amount of time, it just becomes a habit, right?
Yes.
Like 90 days, 90 meetings in 90 days, people go, ugh, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
just full disclosure myself, I think I maybe have 60, but I was working on the same. But keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, but 90 days, 90 meetings in 90 days is to get you entrenched.
Mm-hmm.
When you first come to meetings, those first couple of weeks, people say hello to you and everything, but nobody's getting to know you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or it doesn't feel that way. People are getting to know you, but it doesn't feel that way. A big part of this program is fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I talk to 8 drunks every day. I go bowling with 8 drunks every week. This weekend I had a couple of guys over the house to watch football. Surrounding yourself with, I equate it this way. I'm a big golfer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty good. When I play with people that don't play a lot or just started, and they ask me, you think I should get good clubs?
Yeah, because at the beginning,
good clubs
don't help you at the beginning if you don't listen. Yeah,
but they don't hurt you.
They don't.
Good clubs don't hurt you.
Okay.
All right, it's the same thing with the fellowship here. Surrounding yourself with good people doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Right. And when you look at some of these sayings, 24 hours at a time. 24 hours at a time is a powerful thing. Right? I mean, I could do anything for 24 hours. Right? Or so I've been telling myself my whole life. Right? It's 24 hours. You ever see one of those memes on Facebook or something? Could you sleep in a morgue for 24 hours for $600 million? Stand on my head for 24 hours for $600 million.
Yeah.
Right? And if you think about it like that, what's more important? $600 million or staying sober?
Stay sober.
Stay sober.
Yeah.
You know what? Because you're going to lose the 600.
There's a hidden chip. Oh, yeah.
That's going to be even worse.
Yeah. That's true.
So, I think all the slogans, they all have a meaning.
They all have.
Yeah, the upside down, think. Right? What? To make you think.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a disease of alcohol. This is a disease of the mind.
Yeah. Like my only issue, if I have any, my concerns were like that. I've seen people following them like just blindly, not be able to explain it to me like you do. And I guess if I were to try to interpret what was happening, some people cannot force their mind and give their whole self to somebody else to guide them at the beginning. So they just do that.
That's a hard thing for people
to do. Yeah.
It's a hard thing for people to do.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you got to remember, this program has a wide variety of people at different stages of their life. They're high bottoms, low bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
People come in at different stages. Some people don't need to understand what 24 hours means. They just need to know that they can do it for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That understanding will come later.
Mm-hmm.
What's the 12th step?
You asking me?
Oh.
The 12th one is sharing the word, right? Sharing the...
It's to bring the word to other alcoholics, but you become uniquely qualified to help other alcoholics.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you get uniquely qualified? By taking the other 11 steps.
Yeah.
Right? Because it teaches you what, by the time you go through your 12th step, you now understand all those things.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to understand what those slogans mean. And you know what? That's why it's important. Everyone says go 90 meetings in 90 days.
Yeah.
And what I try to tell people, and I think I told you this too, was go to different meetings.
Yes.
Go to step meetings.
Yeah.
Go to big book meetings. Go to beginners meetings. Go to closed. Go to these different meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I can read the big book, and when I read it, sometimes I'm just gliding through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sit with Eddie upstairs, and Eddie will read a paragraph, and we could spend 20 minutes talking about a paragraph.
Yeah.
Because there's that much meaning within the paragraph.
Yes, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Where I would have just flown right through it.
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta experience these different things.
Mm-hmm.
And the peace of mind, that's the big thing for me. I want peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Putting so many years together, and then going back out, my big thing, and I think, you heard me speak in a rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And, when those guys showed up that I knew, and I knew how far they came to come help me.
Yeah.
I was like, look at the peace of these guys. These guys have just a peace about them that even though I wasn't drinking for so long, I never had. There was always
those 27 years. You don't think you were like in recovery? You're sober. You were just
I think I grew up.
Okay.
But I never had that peace. I was always chasing something.
I see.
Whether I was chasing my golf game, whether I was chasing money, or whether I was, it's always chasing something.
Yeah.
I don't want to chase stuff anymore. I'm getting too old for that.
So yeah. And also, if I remember you telling me, like it coincided with the fact that like now your daughter, your kids were out of the house to college, so you were like, where am I?
You were like, I was done.
Yeah.
I was done chasing all my
goals, and then like you found yourself like, hey, what to do?
Well,
like, I don't know.
You know what? It's because I had no program and I didn't understand the disease of alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
I went to rehab in 1992. Right. And I didn't understand. I knew I needed to stop because I was a human garbage can back then. I was, besides drinking and drugging, and, I knew I had to stop. I was 25 years old and I was a loser. I just, couldn't hold a job, couldn't do, I was going to be a loser. I didn't want to be a loser. And, when you talk about people turning their will over,
Yeah.
right? I grew up where I took care of most of the days of my life myself. And when I came out of rehab, I knew I was going to drink it. But I had things I wanted to accomplish first.
Yeah.
And I was able to accomplish them. And as they started mounting, I knew I couldn't drink because I had all these things going on. And I didn't want to step back. But once we paid that last tuition to my daughter's college, it was like,
now you
what do I got left?
Yeah. That's a trap right there.
And it was, I genuinely thought I can go out and check like a human being.
Speaking of, I mean, I understand that perfectly. Me similarly, when, I came to the US, I didn't know the language. I had to go to college, learn how to do language at the same time. I got in the workforce. 2016, I finally get my citizenship. And I was like, what next? Now I want to fit in, to integrate. And what do people do to fit in and integrate, to drink and use, drugs? And that goal chasing once it's achieved, it puts you like in a dangerous position because you're like, oh, what now?
What next?
Yeah, what's next? But also now, remember that conversation at that time where we had that speaker in a meeting that was talking. I think he almost had a year and found a stat.
And he took a sip.
And took a sip and
he reset his days.
He reset his days. And I share like, I don't think he shouldn't have reset his days because I was just.
I remember sitting across the room going, I'm going to have a cup.
You guys found me in the parking lot. Literally, you're like, let me talk to you for a second. I'm like, yeah, hey, that was.
Listen, you got to remember, this is a program about getting honest, right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, my sponsor, your grand sponsor, right? He's a blast.
Right? Oh, I learned that. Yeah.
My first conversation with him went like this. He says, "I know you're a cheat, a liar, and a con man." I said, "Okay, right."
Yeah.
He said, "This is a program about getting honest." He says, "I don't plan on changing you." He says, "But I think those are survival skills, and we're going to use them in a different way." And I agree with that. So when it becomes like being honest, when a guy has 8 years and he finds a bottle in his garage and he says, nobody will know. When he says nobody will know, that's his disease talking.
Yeah.
So he already relapsed. Right? The fact that he took one, came back, raised his hand and said that, he slipped is a blessing. Because a lot of people just went off to the races after that.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have the people, because listen, if you don't do that, you take that drink, you come to a meeting, you don't say anything. You go about your business. 2 weeks later, what?
Are you going to do it again?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I had one drink 2 weeks ago. So I'll have another one.
Yeah.
Right? And I got to tell you, I bet you it's within 3 months that you drink it full time.
That's true. I agree. My only issue with that approach was that somebody might go off like so many, the day counter is a self-esteem booster, right?
Yeah.
I don't think after 2 years, I'm going to count my days in days. It's going to be like 2 years, months, something, at the beginning.
But that's why you don't announce your days after a year.
After a year, yeah, exactly, right?
It's because, now you're at a different level.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I think like, how some people, because they lost the days they go to counter, might be a contributor to going off to the races. So,
no doubt.
Yeah. So like, do you think that?
No doubt. But that's a person that's not they're not ready yet anyway.
Though you said they were not there anyway.
They're not ready anyway.
Okay.
Right? Like,
They were like what?
you know Teddy, right?
Yeah, yes.
Teddy celebrates a year today.
Uh-huh.
Right? Teddy had 10 months and then went out for like 4 days. And now he's got a year. And what Teddy will tell you is he needed that 4 days to lock it in his head. I can't do this. This is not healthy for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now Teddy's got a year. He's much spiritually more grounded. You know, this is, you have to, if you're going out because you got to reset your days, you're looking for a reason to go out.
Uh-huh.
That's my opinion. That's not an AA opinion. That's a Kevin opinion.
Kevin opinion. Thank you for sharing. Kevin.
Just because, listen, we have people in the rooms. We have people in our own group.
Yeah.
Every 50 to 55 days, they go out. If I'm back at, I say one thing.
Yeah.
Right? Now, they're managing their drinking by coming to me. Because they're only going out once, twice, and then they're coming right back.
Yeah.
Right? Some people would say they're not an alcoholic, then. But they still think like an alcoholic.
Yeah.
They still live like an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But this program is not all about just the drink or the drug. Right? This is about a mind thing. You got to change the way you think. Because that person that's resetting their days every 50 days is a person that's always looking for that 50th day. Just like, when you run out of cocaine at 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to find it.
Yeah.
It's a miserable freaking 3 hours trying to look.
So over there, started texting all those girls. Oh my God. I've been there, done that. Yeah.
Right? So,
I mean,
I don't want to live like that.
Yeah, true.
When that obsession is when you're relieved of that obsession, that's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about getting up where you're going. That's for people with addiction issues, that's huge.
Yeah.
And those people that are resetting all the time, they never get rid of that.
Yeah. Now I have to come clean and confess that last Sunday I went to a music concert by myself in Brooklyn, and it's in a venue that's like for deep house music. There's a lot of people doing drugs, a lot of drinking. I really like the artist, and I went there by myself as a test because I wanted to know where was my state of mind. If I was in
I can tell you right now where you are.
in a state of
a good spot.
you see, wait a second. If I was in a state of addiction, or it's a mindset. If I were in an addiction mindset or in a recovery mindset, why did I do that? By the way, I didn't tell you on purpose, but I told my intensive outpatient group that I was going to go there the Friday before because I wanted still some safeguard.
How did it go? How did it go?
I'm going to come to it. So I wanted them to know that I was going because if one day I will have to lie to them if it didn't go well. Actually, it went well. It went surprisingly well. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything, do drugs. But I had these feelings of I had really great fun. And, I started thinking in the middle of the show, man, this music sounds as great as when I was doing drugs and going to those type of shows. And I started feeling, what did I even do it with the drugs? Because I was scared, afraid that it will not feel the same. It will not, because I haven't been to a concert since before COVID. That was the first time. And I felt like that, man, I was an idiot for so long. The music is the same. It's even better. I had fun. And when I was going in the bathroom, I heard those famous, snort, 1 snort, 2 seconds, the second snort, somebody is doing drugs. And my feeling was a feeling of, you know, when you see teenagers acting up and you're like, yeah, I remember when I was like that, you know. That's what I felt. I didn't feel like, oh man, I'm missing out. I didn't feel I stood, but like I came back like, man, I waste so much time thinking that it was better.
This is a program of honesty, so I'm going to be dead honest with you.
Yeah.
You're not through first step yet.
Yeah. Okay. We coming back now.
Well,
Yeah. Coming back now.
yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Listen, you want honesty, right?
Yeah.
And the honest opinion is you don't test yourself like that. There's no reason to.
That's what I was told on Friday.
There's no reason to test yourself.
I was told.
You know what? You want to go to a music concert. You know how many people in this program probably listen to the same music that have sobriety. And you go, you know, you got to get in your head that you're powerless. You really do. Because if you, the only thing you have to do perfect in this program is remember that first step, believe that first step. See, you're young enough that you think you could get another run. You're in your head right now, you say, no, I don't want another run. But you're setting yourself up for one. I'm telling you right now. You didn't tell me because you didn't want to hear this.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Because I wanted it to be like, I thought I already covered the like, are you gonna relapse or something?
Yeah, you did it. You did it your way.
To my group. Yeah.
Yeah. You did it your way.
Yeah.
Because you knew your group wasn't going to be able to tell you directly to your face.
Oh no, the group reaction was mixed. It was like, yo, man, one guy asked me, did you tell our sponsor? I'm like, nope. He's like, yo, look, yeah, that's why.
Your syndication.
Yeah. But like, I needed to know because here is like,
I understand.
Yes.
You're worried about your life and, you know, am I ever going to be happy again? Am I going to enjoy things again?
It was not really that. It was more of like after 90 days. Okay, personally, it was because in the program, everything was working too well, but I didn't know if I was doing the right thing. I was doing the right thing on paper, right? But I was not being challenged. Like, and I thought like,
you don't need to be challenged.
Okay,
that's the whole thing. This is an easy program. Just do the next right thing. And everything's easy. You know what I mean? This isn't a difficult program. People make it much more difficult than it needs to be. People worry about the 4th and 5th step, and they worry about the 9th step. Well, it's just not that complicated. You know what I mean? When you put yourself in those positions, that's you going, maybe I don't have a problem. Maybe I can conquer this. And you know what? That's setting yourself up to believe the lie. When I didn't drink for so long, I could tell you right now, I started relapsing. So I relapsed in 2020. I bet you I started relapsing in 2018.
So why?
Because of my attitude.
Yeah.
Right. When I grew up, we were very physical. We fought a lot. It was just something we did.
Yeah.
Right. It was a very, violence was just part of the thing. Right. You wanted to get violent. I had a friend punch me once and I looked at him. I said, what was that for? He said, you were going to hit me. My first thought was, yeah, probably was.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, because that's just the way we grew up.
Yes.
And when I got clean in 92, I didn't hit anybody anymore. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to be that person. And in 2018, on Christmas Eve, I was walking into a Subway and my car didn't swipe. So I got stuck at the turnstile. And the guy behind me walks into me. And I said, sorry. And I went to go do it again, but now he's eyeballing me. And I'm like, who you eyeballing?
Yeah.
And before I knew it, I clotheslined him to the floor. I jumped on top of him. I'm ready to punch him in the face when somebody grabs my arm and goes, dude, it's Christmas Eve. And I was just like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But that old attitude, that old me from 20-something years, 25 years before, was right there in the Subway with me. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
until now. But that's how long I was setting up that journey. At least that long.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm telling you about doing that. Not telling me, right? Is you set yourself up. Be careful. I don't want you to do it. There's no reason to do it in 90 days.
Yeah.
You got a whole lifetime ahead of you. You can rediscover your music in a year.
Yeah.
Not missing anything. All music you listen to is the same anyway.
No, like the also one aspect you think it's gonna be super controversial for me, but that's like the engineer talking to in me. There's that concept when you design something of failing early, so like you save time. So if I were to fail, I want to fail the earliest possible.
All right. So from an standpoint,
Yeah.
building a house and you want to make sure that it's structurally sound.
Yeah, you're gonna test the structure before finishing the house, right?
But put the foundation in. Put the studs in,
Mm-hmm.
and now you got to do a structural test and it falls apart.
Yeah.
Now you just wasted your time.
Yeah.
You just wasted the last. Why?
90.
Because you didn't do it right the first time.
You didn't do it, so like, better catch it there than catch it when the house is
It's not hard to do right the first time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. This ain't building a house. This ain't constructing a bridge. This is being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Being honest with yourself and another human being.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And, the slogans, just don't drink, right?
Yeah.
Like Leo Hurley is.
Leo is a legend in this game.
He's a legend, right?
Yeah.
And he said to me,
Shout out to Leo.
Yeah, shout out to Leo. He said to me one time, "What don't you understand about no more drinking?" Because that's where Leo is.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that, no more drinking. And that's good for our disease. But we're never going to be able to be those people that just say, I'm not drinking. Maybe you can.
Maybe
you can.
Who knows?
But you're not going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're not going to get that peace. You're not going to get that growth, that spiritual growth. Everybody has a problem with saying God in this program because I don't like God.
I'm not having no sick. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I hate to tell everybody, but it's a spiritual program.
Uh-huh.
And it's, I don't know how to explain it. I don't have a religion, but I know there's something out there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what exactly I pray to every morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I know if I keep doing the next right thing, good things happen to me.
Okay.
That's not a coincidence.
Yeah, it's putting good energy out there.
Yeah. My mother once told me when I was young, she said, you have all the answers. She said, someday you're going to wake up, you're not going to have any answers and you're going to need faith.
Yeah.
She said, I don't care if you worship the head of lettuce if you have faith, because you're going to need it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Woman was right. I wish I had taken advice a lot earlier.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm Catholic. I don't go to church that often, but like that idea of a higher power for me keep my sanity because, a little bit about me, like I know people, when I was in Ivory Coast and the Civil War started and, we had to fight hard to stay alive, to get our green card, to come here. I know better people that work harder that didn't get to where I am. It's not that I didn't work hard. It's just like that. Like there must be somewhere over there something why I was picked and not them, and that higher power is, I call it God too, and this is what I'm doing this as a catharsis, because I need to express, help others and also express. I think I have a message that I can share,
This is what you're trying to accomplish here is 12-step work.
Yeah.
And 12-step work I gotta tell you, the first time I spoke at Seafield, sorry, but I mentioned the place.
Yeah, it's quite
The
fun.
first time I spoke at Seafield when I got out,
Uh-huh.
I don't even remember the car ride home. Like, it was just so good.
You good, the real,
You
yeah.
know, and when you showed up at the meeting, I told you I was gonna come.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't know what a good feeling that is.
No.
I think the next night Kurt showed up.
Yeah, Kurt showed up too. Yeah. Shout out to Kurt. Yeah.
And that is just such a good feeling.
Yeah.
I watched a guy, he's probably got about 23 days now.
Uh-huh.
He walked in here shaking and baking. I mean, this guy was miserable.
Uh-huh.
He walks up right now. We go outside. When he walks up, he's going to hug everybody. He's got a big smile on his face. When you see that light return to people's eyes, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's what hope gives you.
That's true. I agree. No, man, when I met you at Seafield, like, man, like, I was like, yeah, I connect to that guy, dog, especially the part where you say, like, you like a physical violent guy. Me too, man. Like, I'm not, like, I don't go out of my way to beat up everybody, but there were days where I was, like, praying to the Lord or war fight that, like, somebody will provoke me, so I will have a reason to pass my anger onto them or something. And, like, when you told that about yourself and, like, how, like, you not white knuckle, but you were sober for a long time, and then the second part was after accomplishing all your goals, you found that thing of, like, what next, which is the same thing that happened to me before I fell into addiction. I was like, yeah, I need to stay in touch with this guy, Yeah.
Listen, you hear, you're talking about the mottos of AA, and you hear a lot of people say, oh, my disease is out in the parking lot doing push-ups, getting stronger.
Yeah.
Mine's sitting in the room with me. It's sitting right here.
Yeah.
Learning everything I learned.
Yeah.
So I could use it against me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have a feeling that's a mindset. That's a critical thinker, as you put it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So a critical thinker, me and you, how do you beat your opponent? Know more about your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Be the calmest guy in the world. Right? I got to fight. I want to be calm.
Yeah.
I don't want to get crazy because I want to see everything.
Yeah.
See everything develop in front of me.
Yes.
Right? That's your disease sitting on your shoulder in a room. Somebody else might have a disease sitting out of the park lot doing push-ups because that's the way they think.
Yeah.
There's no right, no wrong.
Yeah.
It's just different ways of thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
Right? We're all different people.
True.
What I will share, and I think we're coming up on time. Right?
Yep. I was about to mention it. Like, if you want to have a closing time or closing statement.
My closing statement would be, we are all the same people.
Uh-huh.
Right. Now, when I went to rehab in 92, I was a middle-class white kid from Long Island. I was in a rehab in Manhattan, and my roommate was a kid named Jules. He was HIV infected, homeless black guy. And the first night, I'm sitting in my bed, and I'm like, I don't belong here. I'm a middle-class white kid from Long Island. I don't believe it. I don't belong with this guy. This guy's not, this is not my people.
Okay.
And I think 3 or 4 days later, I probably would have killed him. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because you know what? He was me.
Yeah.
Deep down,
Mm-hmm.
we are all the same people. We have the same fears. We have the same insecurities and the same dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We all want the same thing. And I learned back then that we're all the same. I just had better circumstances than that.
Yeah.
You know what? I could have been born Jules. Jules could have been born me.
Yeah.
And I would have been him.
Yeah.
Because we were the same people. And I think that's the great thing about this program.
Yeah.
Is, it boils everybody down to their least common denominator, most common denominator.
Yeah. Like, you think about melting pot, that disease doesn't discriminate. This is where this disease is more diverse than any borough in Queens. I'm telling you, right? You have people all walks of life. All right. All right, Kevin, thank you very much for, this recording that first episode, man. It's like basically what we, meaning or wants, when we check in and, the
Not go out testing yourself without talking about it.
okay, all right. Good talk, good talk. All right, thanks, Kev.
That's how.
Yeah, see you later. All right.
Hey folks, there you have it. This concludes the first episode of Stairway to Redemption. Big thank you to Kevin for being my first guest to the podcast, and I'm sorry for going apparently from step 1 to 3, and then going back to 1 by going out to the concert without letting him know. But I stand by my decision. Oh man, I'm gonna give that guy a hard time, I bet. I would like to take this moment to say big to thank the people who helped me produce and create this podcast. First, thank you to Raphael, my mentor in the podcast industry, who helped me, who introduced me to the Podcast Association of New York, took me to Podfest, show me, like what a proper podcast studio looks like. Thank you, Raphael. Check out his podcast. It's called White Label American. So just go to whitelabelamerican.com. I'm gonna add all those podcasts and shares in the description. No worries. Thank you, Diana, not Diana. She's very formal about that for the logo. Thank you, Yuri, for the jingle. That song slaps. Like, that music is dope. I like it a lot. Thank you very much to a couple people, Yanis, Kate V, for the emotional support. And I would like also to take the time to mention some podcasts that I took inspiration from, because before creating this podcast, I listened to a lot of other creators who are also in recovery. So I think it's worth mentioning Sober Girl podcast with Jessica. I'm gonna add the link to it too. Intoxicated podcast, which follows of a couple of a married couple who survived through addiction. The Sober Guy podcast, that one I think is pretty famous. I'm gonna add the link to it. And yeah, taking inspiration from those and sharing the word, and hopefully I will see you guys for episode number 2. Bye.